It's good to import cars from outside, but it's not good to import a wife from outside. This was said to my mom by a High Court judge at Trangpin. If you say it in Dzongkha, Garidi chikale chuachin tra, amsudi chikale chuachin lakhaing se sundela. So obviously this judge, High Court judge, had a sense of humor. Although at that point in time, this is I think 2010, my wife and me, we had been married for a few months and we were so looking forward to getting our marriage certificate, but this is what we got instead of a MC. And another thing that I wanted to speak about was an old lady came to the Buddha and said, please, I'm very old, I don't have much time to sit in prayer, so if you could give me a simple instruction or a practice that I can do, and hopefully I will attain enlightenment or get some spiritual growth. And what the Buddha had advised her was, he said, what do you do for a living? And she said she fetches water from wells. The Buddha advised her to watch her hands when she pulls the rope to fetch water from the well. Hi, my name is Karma, and today is a Wednesday, so that means it's #MyTakeTime. And today the letter is N, and what I wanted to talk about is now, N-O-W, now. So coming back to the story about the Trangpin and his ill-timed joke, maybe, because while it was a funny joke and it must have been even true to a young couple who's looking to start a new life, it wasn't funny from any angle. But having said that, the reason why I used that as an opening for this video was because of the fact that we were not awarded or given a marriage certificate. After about 6 years of service in the BBS, I applied for an EOL. That's an extraordinary leave, for those of you who don't know, or some call it leave without pay. And after that, we moved base from Thimphu to Phintsiling, me and my wife and my newborn daughter. She was 2 years old. Before we shifted to Phintsiling, my wife and me, because of the fact that we didn't have a marriage certificate, we had to exit the country almost on a monthly basis. And then for formality's sake, exit out, go to Jaigaon, do some shopping, have some puchka, some golgappe, and come back to renew our pass. And that was all right when it was just the two of us as adults, because it was a nice break, almost on a monthly basis. But once my younger daughter, my elder daughter was born, my firstborn, it used to get torturous because she used to get car sick, and by the time we reached Phintsiling, she would be sick, dehydrated because of throwing up so much. So that's why out of that situation, I was compelled to put in my EOL, and we found ourselves in Phintsiling. Now I know I said I was going to talk about now, but so many memories. Anyway, because of the fact that I was not working for the BBS and I had applied for an EOL and we were living in Phintsiling, and like so many MyTake videos, almost half of it or a little less than that, I have talked about how my contribution to my family, my biggest contribution is washing dishes. Well, this is the origin, kind of like the origin story of dishwashing. So I found myself one evening, my wife was putting our daughter to sleep and I was doing the dinner dishes. And as I was doing the dishes, the thought in my head was, man, what a waste of time. I should be shooting a documentary. I should be scripting. Maybe I have this video that I had shot. I should be editing that. Or I need to be working on that film script that I have been working on since film school. So all of these thoughts were going on in my head. And the more I was thinking about it, the more frustrated I was getting. Then I considered this to be a blessing of my root guru, or my teacher. Then I thought about my situation or my predicament, or whatever you want to call it. And I was thinking that because I was discontent or I was not being present, I was not doing the dishes well. And because I was thinking about this imagined situation where I should have been scripting, editing, doing something creative that would have been a better use of my time, I was feeling more and more frustrated. Since that day, it's been a realization. I find it like that was my Bodhi tree moment, because I thought that not only am I not being able to transport myself to the future and be able to be scripting or editing and doing any of the other things that I imagined myself to be doing then, but because of the fact that I was so lost in the future or what could be, I was not being in the present. And as a result of that, the task in hand, which was washing my dishes, I was not doing a good job of that as well. And now I feel like this ties nicely with what the Buddha instructed that old lady who used to fetch water from the well to watch her hands when she pulls the water out of the well, because that is going to demand or in some sense compel her to be present. And I find all quotes and sayings and any proverb, parable, story, Buddhist story pointing to being present. And that was part of one of the ingredients that I spoke about in my TED Talk as well. If any of you, I don't know how many of you have watched my TED Talk, do share in the comments if you have watched the TED Talk and what you thought of it. But one of the ingredients that I spoke about in my TED Talk was that all we ever have is now. You might be writing, working, cleaning, whatever it is that you do, working on the computer, cooking, bathing. But how many of us are present in what we are doing? And while what the Buddha must have shared or what spiritual masters share might be a very deep, profound sense of being present and nowness, I think the mere fact that you sit and you pause, the act of pausing itself is being present. And for me, given my condition with my eyes, I find myself better equipped in a way to handle the situation when I am present, and when I don't, in some sense, scatter my concentration or my imagined wisdom or intelligence by thinking about the past or thinking about the future. So that's what I wanted to share about today. And because of the Drangpin and not being awarded an MC, I found myself in Finsiling doing dishes, and now I am great at it. And more than that, I find myself being more and more present. And the dividends that you get by being present is there are no words to describe it.